This video was made possible by Squarespace. Build your website with Squarespace for 10% off at squarespace.com/HAI. A hot dog is a cylindrical sausage derivative common in the United States and Canada. Making one involves combining three elements: meat trimmings, preservatives such as nitrates, and flavorings such as salt, which you're about to have plenty of after learning that this guy standing on the street corner selling hot dogs is probably making more money than you. If you've ever been to New York, you know two things: that these hot dog stands are everywhere and your overdraft limit, because New York is an expensive place. You may know it as the Big Apple, but, it should really be called the Big Apple Store, since everything costs so much and it's filled with mice. What the writer will never learn, that's me. What I will never learn is that moderation is key. New York City knows this. They know that running food stands in such a dense place is insanely profitable, so to prevent the streets from being overrun with hot dog peddlers, they need to restrict the number of them. They do so with licenses. Hot dog licenses, which are in hot demand. How this works is that there are 3,100 hot dog licenses in New York City, and that's it. Those are for ones like this stand on 43rd Street outside the Westin Hotel, from which I got the worst food poisoning I've ever had in my life. I was as sick as a dog. That's because how these stands work is that they put hundreds of hot dogs in boiling water at the beginning of the day and just leave them there until they're sold, and then there's really nothing stopping them from saving the unsold dogs and putting them back in the water the next day, so please don't eat a New York street hot dog, unless of course you want to recreate The Purge. Not the movie, that's what I call the day I ate that dog. These hot dog stands make a lot of money. We'll get to that part. So some people have been on the waiting list for a permit for up to 20 years. For city park spots, though, there's no waiting list. Instead, every 5 years, the permits go up for auction. Classic supply and demand rules apply, so since there's a restricted supply and high demand, prices get high. Really high. Like deciding between buying a Ferrari or hot dog stand license high. The least expensive license, though, is for here at Inwood Hill Park, setting the owner back $700 a year. For most New Yorkers, this is basically Canada, so the foot traffic here isn't great. The owner has said he only makes about $3,000 to $5,000 a year from his cart. Other cheap licenses are the $1,100 per year one for Pelham Bay Park in the Bronx and the $3,200 per year one for Maria Hernandez Park in Brooklyn. Those don't make much, so they don't cost much. The most expensive licenses, though, are all for locations in Central Park. This one at the Metropolitan Museum of Art costs $125,170 per year. This one just off 72nd Street costs $233,000 per year. And this one outside Tavern on the Green restaurant costs $266,850 per year. The grand prize of most expensive hot dog stand license in New York City, however, goes to this one just outside the Central Park Zoo at $289,500 per year. Let's do some quick maths. At that stand, a hot dog costs $2 and most drinks cost $2 too. They also sell more expensive ice cream, but let's assume the average person spends $4. Expenses aren't high. A hot dog and bun cost about 75 cents at wholesale prices, and most drinks about 25 cents, so $1 in expenses. 2 plus 2 is 4 minus 1, that's 3. Working from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., 14 hours per day, if there's a customer every 3 minutes, that's $60 per hour, $840 per day, and about $300,000 per year, meaning they're already breaking even. If we just say that there's a customer every 2 minutes instead, the stand owner would pocket $150,000 per year. Now you can start to see how this can be so profitable. In fact, the average income for New York hot dog stand owners is purportedly about $100,000 per year. Don't sell drugs, kids. Sell dogs. What's unbelievable, though, is that the Central Park Zoo stand isn't even the most expensive ever. In most years, that title has gone to the one at the entrance to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, whose yearly lease has peaked at $415,000. Whoever owned that license truly was the top dog. Wait, we know who. It was Pasang Sherpa who leased the spot for his company, Himalaya Inc., until they were evicted for failing to pay their lease and ended up being with a mountain of debt. At least for him, the dog days are over. As we've established, you've got to be one lucky dog to get a New York hot dog stand license. But I'm sure you, like everyone and their dog, either has or wants to have a business, a podcast, a YouTube channel, or something else. Because of that, you need to stand out, and a great way to do that is to have a professional-looking website, but you don't want to have to work like a dog to build yours. You might be worried about building an ugly website, but you don't have a dog's chance of doing so with Squarespace since their beautiful templates and customizable website builder makes it easy to make something beautiful. I am dog-tired of people who don't have websites because it's just so easy to make one, especially because Squarespace is offering you, yes you, 10% off by going to squarespace.com/HAI. Hot diggity dog. Make sure to check them out before commenting about how this show has gone to the dogs.